the man behind the legend, Enzo Ferrari. Ferrari, a name that instantly makes you think of speed, passion, and the color red. But behind the prancing horse emblem is a man whose dream, determination, and sometimes ruthless personality created one of the greatest automotive legends in history. This is the story of Enzo Ferrari. Enzo Anselmo Ferrari was born on February 20th, 1898 in Modena, Italy. His family was not wealthy, and his childhood was marked by hardship. When Enzo was just 10 years old, his father took him and his brother to watch a car race in Bologna. That moment changed his life forever. From that day on, Enzo knew exactly what he wanted to do: dedicate his life to racing. His journey was not an easy one. During World War I, Enzo served in the Italian army. Tragedy struck when both his father and brother died from illness. Enzo himself nearly died from the Spanish flu. After the war, he found himself with no money, no education beyond elementary school, and little hope. But what he did have was determination. He managed to get a job as a test driver at a small car company called CMN. In 1919, he entered his very first race. He didn't win, but the fire inside him only grew stronger. Soon after, Enzo joined Alfa Romeo, first as a driver and later as part of their racing team. He showed talent, but he quickly realized that he was not destined to be the greatest driver. His true gift was in organizing, managing, and building a team. In 1929, Enzo founded the Scuderia Ferrari, originally as a racing team for wealthy gentleman drivers who wanted to compete under his guidance. The Scuderia became Alfa Romeo's official racing team, and under Enzo's leadership, it achieved major success in the 1930s. But by 1939, Enzo wanted to create cars under his own name. He left Alfa Romeo and set up Auto Avio Costruzioni in Modena. Due to contractual restrictions, he couldn't use the Ferrari name yet, but the seed of the future empire had been planted. World War II interrupted his plans. His workshop was bombed, and Enzo had to move operations to Maranello. But after the war, in 1947, something historic happened. The first car to bear the Ferrari name was born, the Ferrari 125S. Powered by a V12 engine designed by Gioacchino Colombo, it marked the beginning of a dynasty. That same year, Ferrari won its very first race. The legend had begun. Enzo's philosophy was clear. Racing was at the heart of everything Ferrari did. He believed, famously, that Ferrari built road cars only to fund the racing team. Winning on the track was the ultimate goal, and win they did. In 1951, Ferrari achieved its first Formula One victory. In 1952 and 1953, Alberto Ascari drove a Ferrari to back-to-back world championships. But success came at a cost. Enzo Ferrari was known as Il Commendatore, a man respected, feared, and sometimes hated. He demanded absolute loyalty and total commitment. His drivers adored the cars, but often clashed with the man behind them. Enzo had a reputation for being ruthless, prioritizing the success of the team above all else. The 1950s and 60s were golden years for Ferrari in racing. They won at Le Mans, at Formula One, and in countless other events. But they were also years of tragedy. Ferrari's cars were incredibly fast, but motorsport was dangerous, and safety standards were minimal. Many Ferrari drivers lost their lives. Heroes like Alfonso de Portago, Wolfgang von Trips, and later, even great champions like Lorenzo Bandini. Enzo was devastated by each loss, but he rarely showed emotion publicly. Critics accused him of being cold, but inside, those deaths haunted him for the rest of his life. One of the most famous moments in Ferrari history came in the 1960s with the so-called Ford versus Ferrari war. Ford Motor Company, eager to buy Ferrari, entered negotiations with Enzo. At first, the deal seemed close, but when Enzo realized Ford wanted control over his beloved racing team, he walked away at the last moment, slamming the door on Henry Ford II. Furious, Ford decided to beat Ferrari where it hurt most, on the track at Le Mans. The battle that followed was legendary, inspiring books and films. In 1966, Ford finally defeated Ferrari with the GT40. Yet Ferrari's legacy remained untouchable. On the road car side, Ferrari built some of the most beautiful machines ever created. The 250 GTO, the Testarossa, the Daytona. Each car wasn't just transportation, it was art. Ferrari cars became symbols of wealth, speed, and Italian passion. The prancing horse logo, taken from the emblem of Italian war hero Francesco Baracca, became one of the most recognized symbols in the world. Despite global fame, Enzo himself lived a modest life. He wore the same sunglasses, the same gray suits, and rarely left Maranello. He was a man obsessed with his work, spending nearly every day at the factory. He avoided airplanes, preferred to stay close to his world, and was almost mythical in his secrecy. By the 1970s and 80s, Ferrari faced financial difficulties. Racing was expensive, and the company struggled to stay independent. Eventually, in 1969, Fiat purchased a 50% stake in Ferrari, giving the company stability while Enzo retained control over racing operations. In 1987, Ferrari introduced the F40, the last car personally approved by Enzo Ferrari himself. Raw, aggressive, and brutally fast, the F40 represented everything Ferrari stood for. It was a farewell gift from the man to the world. On August 14, 1988, Enzo Ferrari passed away at the age of 90. His death marked the end of an era, but his spirit lived on. Just weeks later, Ferrari achieved an emotional 1-2 finish at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. Many saw it as a tribute to the man who had dedicated his life to racing. Today, Ferrari is more than just a car company. It is a legend, a symbol of excellence and passion recognized in every corner of the globe. And it all began with Enzo, a boy from Modena who fell in love with racing and never let go of his dream. Enzo Ferrari once said, "You cannot describe passion, you can only live it." That passion created a brand that continues to inspire millions. From a small workshop in Modena to the pinnacle of motorsport and the streets of the world's greatest cities, Ferrari is not just a car, it's a dream. If you want more epic stories from the world of cars, subscribe and join us on this journey.